In for a quick video today, reflecting on the difference between active versus passive healing. And the topic's come up a few times, and I thought I'd take maybe 5 or 10 minutes here and sharing my perspective, as there's a big difference between active versus passive healing. And for those that are involved with this, perhaps you want to put a like or a comment down below. When I got into this 16 years ago, I had no clue about any of this. So this is on my take and from my experiences, especially when the hammer comes down. That's the important part. That's the clincher of it. So active healing versus passive healing. So passive healing is simply enjoying a nice massage. I think we all enjoy having a massage here and there. I'll leave it at that. It's the passive healing. It's like being on a table and asking someone to put their hands over the person to do the work. And it's great. It's a good experience. What I'm sharing with this is that experience only lasts for a short amount of time. It may last for a week, 2, 3 weeks. And then the system, or the default in the system, the way that the subconscious operates, the muscle memory, goes back to the old version, the old way of thinking. So whoever's facilitating probably done a wonderful job, a wondrous job, and they've put their essence, their time, their spirit into it, and it's a great thing. The thing of it is, it's passive healing. There's little or no accountability. There's little or no personal responsibility. And it's simply enjoying the moment for what it is. And what I've seen is that it eventually, I'm using me as the example, that it catches up. So I want to reflect on it from a different perspective involving personal healing, or I'd call active healing. And active healing to me refers to personal healing, personal accountability, personal responsibility, and personal ownership. And this is poles apart, because there's another part with this is, I'd say for those that have a God point of view, or believe in the universe or source, or they believe in Jesus or Yeshua, or whoever you want to believe in with this, the universe will assist anyone with this, with whatever we're doing. We have to take the actions, including with, if you call upon God, God helps those who help themselves. And that includes with, it's going to be stepping on some toes, but I'm going to put it out there anyways. I grew up in the Roman Catholic system. I didn't really like it. I think of a lot of people that they're seeing the transition, especially for those that are awakening or doing their own personal transformation or their own spiritual awakening with this. The reality is that this is a big one, because it deals with the church and the fundamentals of who has the control of it, or the person up on the top that facilitates the channel between God and them as the intermediary, and channeling that information or giving the information or the blessings. And I'm like, I don't really think of that. I don't really see the light of that. I do not see the light in it. I share that because at one point I had a couple near-death experiences, and I'm like, when I reached out to the church, when I reached out to other things, or if you want to call it the way I thought in the human construct with God, not much came out of it. And you can hear that in my voice. So that was from my own experience. So active healing is God will assist those that help them, I don't like the word help, that will assist themselves. And I'm sharing this to perhaps break the stigma, or the intention with breaking the stigma of the reliance upon God, or reliance upon those that are, as Jesus as my Savior with this. The people that have shown up, whether it's Jesus or anyone else from many, many years ago, there's many role models today. They were here as an exemplary role model to show other people the way of doing it. Yeah, like I said, this is probably going to step on a few toes here. Equally, when I'm sharing this from a different perspective, that The act of healing requires, I mentioned there, the personal responsibility, the personal accountability, and the personal ownership. And it's to really being, for myself, was taking the full ownership and the full responsibility with it. It's like, well, Stephen, like, what does that refer to? It's great trusting with the universe, 1,000%, trusting with God, the God that's God, not the human made God, 1,000%. Having a faith and it's an inner conviction with what's going on. I'm emphasizing about active healing because the act of healing is wherever we are today, we live in a universe, and there's a thing called a soul contract. And when each and every one of us, when we show up here for the whatever the number is, 6, 7, or 8 billion of us that are currently here, more there's a lot of new souls that are incarnating here. There's a soul contract, and that's set in stone with the universe. There's also spiritual guides involved, and these spiritual guides have a really good insight with who we are, and this is for each and every one of us with this. And for many of us, it's going to be involving either with as a guardian angel, as a master guide, as a philosopher guide, a joy guide, and a healer guide. Those are the fundamentals, and they're all here to volunteer. They volunteer to assist us that when we show up from the spiritual realm to this earthly realm, to this earthly physical realm, we all make choices, we all make decisions, and the soul chooses very, very intentionally with whatever the nationality, whatever the background, whatever the parents are. The soul chooses us for each and every one of us, and the soul does not want to come down here to this earthly realm. The soul, humanity's got a history with a lot of things where unfortunately things where we're pretty skewed at one point. And I'm sharing this, that every time, let's say I'm using me as an example, when I showed up here, when I started to take the ownership, the responsibility, and the accountability, and was to clean up with doing the active healing, was for me to deal with everything, whether I liked it or not. By doing so, and by holding myself accountable with it, and having the right teacher, the right mentor with it, this is where I started finding out that the more as I started to clean up, that responsibility sat with me. Now, as I took the ownership and I took the responsibility with whatever was going on in my own life with this, then God would step in, and as I'm moving forward with it, God was able to assist me with whatever I was dealing with. And I really wanted to share that because we're losing a lot of people here. There's one thing having faith in something. There's another thing having blind faith in something that, look, if it's because somebody says something doesn't mean it's true. It even refers to with whatever I'm saying here. All I'm sharing is with do your own homework or assess your own beliefs on it. Especially when you had moments when you got stuck with something and you knew that there was no way out. And I'm sharing that there is another way out. The consciousness, the energies that are coming from the universe they're here. They've been here for many years already. They're simply ramping up and getting more and more intense with us. And I really desired with getting this information out there that the active healing, I mean, using me as an example with this, definitely having the right guidance, having the right mentor is phenomenal. Especially with having the container that the work that's being done, it's secure. This is critical. It's absolutely essential with it. Then the rest of it simply being given the right guidance, the right direction with it, and then simply the ability of saying, okay, stuff happened, the crap happened. Now now the reality of it is, what is the person going to do with it, or what was I going to do with it many years ago? And look, I had masked it up with, at one point, I had a 6-figure job. I was there as a commercial pilot, and I found out I was wearing, basically like a lot of us, was wearing the artificial mask of it. And the moment when that came down, and I see this happening more and more, there's a huge, there's a timeline switch for this for many that are in the 3D. And I'd really like to see many from the 3D step in, or for those that are ready, they're going to elevate into the 5D. When when they're ready to take the ownership, the accountability, and saying, look, there's got to be more to life than simply just working all the time. And it's gutsy. It takes a lot of guts. And it really decided today was simply getting the message through of the difference between active and passive healing. Like I shared, everyone enjoys the company of somebody else, by all means. What I'm referring to is the passive healing is not going to cut it anymore, especially being in the 5D. The active healing, this involves, like I said, myself with this, required that 100% personal accountability on every level. And I can share this, that the more and more I put into it, it's something that the bank can't take away. No one else can take away from a person. They can't take away from you with this. And it's to inspire other people that we're not simply here to work Monday to Friday. That model is obsolete. It's to come here to break free of a lot of it. And I'm aware that many are stuck in it. And it was told to me at one point that, hey, Stefan, it's temporary. And having that type of a mindset, it saved my neck. And I simply kept finding another way with this. And simply that finding another way was having the right guidance. And like what Jim Rohn talks about, you work the 9 to 5 and then work twice as hard at nighttime, whatever it is that's from with oneself, myself, and we all gotta find a way with this. And so that's my video for today. Wherever you are, treat yourself with lots of kindness, lots of self-love, especially with the new energies, with the new the Schumann resonance that's been going on. It's intense. And keep hydrated, drink lots of water, rest is required, and enjoy your day. Have a beautiful day. Thank you so much. Take care.